Is Stellar XLM poised for a breakout? April 2025 price analysis. Don't miss what's happening. The crypto market is heating up, and Stellar XLM is flashing major signals. If you're holding XLM or even just thinking about it, this moment could define your next big move in crypto. Because here's the truth. Every major breakout in crypto starts the same way. First, early signs appear, but most people overlook them. Then, smart money moves in, but retail traders hesitate. And finally, the explosion happens, and those who waited are left chasing. Right now, XLM is in that critical early phase. Institutional money is quietly flowing in. The charts are showing clear signs of an imminent move. And behind the scenes, Stellar's latest developments could be the spark that changes everything. But here's the issue. Most people won't realize it until it's too late, because history repeats itself. Think about Bitcoin in 2016, Ethereum in 2019, Solana in early 2021. The biggest opportunities come when nobody is paying attention. And by the time XLM is making headlines, the biggest gains will already be locked in. That's why this video is different. We're not just speculating, we're breaking down exactly what's happening with XLM right now, what the data says, and what it means for your portfolio. This isn't just another price prediction. This is a blueprint for how to position yourself before the breakout happens. And if you're serious about making money in this market, you need to do one thing right now. Hit that like button, subscribe to Be Crypto Smart, and turn on notifications. Because when XLM moves, it won't wait for you. By the time the masses wake up to what's happening, the window of opportunity could already be closing. Now let's get into it. XLM's current price action. What's really happening? Let's cut through the noise and look at what the charts are actually saying. Right now, XLM is in a consolidation phase. And if you've been in crypto long enough, you know what that means. Pressure is building. Every major breakout starts like this. Sideways movement. Low volatility. A phase where weak hands get shaken out while smart money quietly accumulates. But here's what most people miss. Volume is rising. A telltale sign that big players are stepping in. Support levels are holding strong. A key indicator that buyers are defending their positions. Breakout signals are flashing green. Momentum indicators are showing strength, and historical patterns are aligning with previous explosive moves. And here's the part that matters most. Consolidation isn't a sign of weakness. It's a setup. It's what happens right before the real move begins. And when a move finally comes, it happens fast. Think about Solana in 2021. XRP's legal victory rally. Bitcoin before every major bull run. The quiet accumulation phase is always the biggest opportunity, but only for those paying attention. So here's the question. Is XLM gearing up for a breakout to the upside? Or are we looking at a fake-out designed to trap late buyers? We'll analyze that in the next section, breaking down the key resistance levels, market sentiment, and institutional moves that could make or break this trend. But before we do, drop a comment below. Do you think XLM is about to break out? Or is this just another false alarm? Let's talk. XLM versus the market. How it stacks up against other altcoins. Now, let's take a step back. How does Stellar XLM compare to the rest of the crypto market right now? Because here's the truth, crypto moves in cycles. Bitcoin takes the lead, then the money flows into altcoins. But here's where most people get it wrong. Not every altcoin moves the same way. Some pump purely off hype. Some are built on nothing but speculation. And when the hype fades, they crash hard. But XLM? That's a different story. Right now, the market is hyper-focused on Bitcoin's dominance, and for good reason. Institutional money is pouring into BTC, ETFs are driving demand, and mainstream adoption is at an all-time high. But what happens next? Smart investors know where to look after Bitcoin pumps. Strong altcoins with real-world adoption. And XLM is one of the strongest contenders in the game. Here's why. Unlike hype-driven meme coins, XLM is backed by real institutional adoption. Unlike speculative projects, Stellar has an actual use case in global finance. Unlike most cryptos, Stellar isn't just a decentralized vision. It's actively expanding partnerships with banks, governments, and fintech giants. And that's a game changer. Because while most altcoins are fighting for retail hype, Stellar is positioning itself at the core of the next financial revolution. Look at the facts. Global payment networks. Stellar's blockchain is already being used to settle cross-border transactions faster and cheaper than traditional banking. Real-world utility. It's being integrated into remittance services, CBDC pilots, and fintech solutions that are actually in use today. Strategic partnerships. From MoneyGram to Circle, Stellar isn't just sitting on the sidelines. It's actively shaping the next generation of finance. And if you think all of this doesn't matter for price, think again. Because when institutional adoption kicks in, retail investors follow. And when that happens, the supply shock will be real. Which brings us to the next big question. How high can XLM go when institutional money floods in? And what price levels should you be watching right now? The institutional factor? Follow the smart money. Let's talk about what really moves markets. Not retail traders. Not social media hype. Institutions. Hedge funds. High net worth investors. They don't chase green candles. They position themselves before the breakout happens. And right now, financial institutions are integrating Stellar's blockchain for cross-border payments. Payment giants are eyeing XLM's speed and efficiency for future financial systems. And governments are exploring Stellar for CBDC implementation. This is not speculation. This is happening. And if you know anything about crypto history, you know what happens when institutional demand meets a limited supply. Prices move fast. Which brings us to the real question. How high can XLM go? Let's break it down. XLM price predictions? Where could we be headed? Now let's talk numbers. Because while most people chase hype, real profits come from understanding where the market is actually headed. XLM's current market cap? Still wildly undervalued compared to its real-world adoption. And that's not just speculation. It's a fact backed by fundamental analysis. But let's break it down further. What kind of price levels are we really looking at? Scenario 1. The conservative growth model. Let's start with the low-end estimate. If XLM simply follows historical trends and keeps pace with moderate market cycles, we're looking at a 2x to 3x increase from today's price in the next bullish wave. No hype, no wild speculation, just math. At these levels, XLM would break the 50 cents to $1 range, which for long-term holders would already be a solid gain. But here's the thing. XLM isn't just another altcoin riding Bitcoin's momentum. Scenario 2. The institutional adoption wave. Now let's factor in something most traders ignore: institutional money. Because here's what's happening behind the scenes. Banks and fintech giants are already testing Stellar's technology for cross-border payments. Partnerships with payment networks like MoneyGram and Circle are setting the stage for mass adoption. Central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are integrating blockchain technology, and Stellar is one of the few platforms positioned to benefit. So what happens if XLM captures even a fraction of the institutional capital flowing into blockchain finance? Well, let's compare it to Ethereum's market cap. If XLM reaches just 10% of Ethereum's current valuation, we're looking at a price of $5 or more per XLM. And if XLM's adoption accelerates faster than expected, we could see double-digit price targets come into play. Scenario 3. The full-blown altcoin season explosion. Now, let's talk about what happens when market sentiment goes parabolic. Because if history has taught us anything, it's this. Every bull run has a moment where fundamentals take a back seat and FOMO takes over. We've seen it with Bitcoin's meteoric rise. We've seen it with Ethereum breaking $4,000. And we've seen altcoins skyrocket 50x, 100x, or more in just months. So what does that mean for XLM? A $1 price target? That's a bare minimum expectation if we hit full-blown altcoin season. A $5 target? That's the realistic upside if institutions start pouring in. A $10 or more breakout? Sounds extreme, but then again, so did Bitcoin at $1,000 until it wasn't. Markets move fast. And the biggest gains? They always look impossible until they happen. So now the real question is, what could accelerate this move even faster? Because the pieces are already in place. The partnerships, the adoption, the market cycle, all lining up for XLM to make its move. And in the next section, we're diving into the catalysts that could send XLM skyrocketing sooner than anyone expects. The supply shock, why time is running out. One of the biggest price drivers in crypto history, supply and demand. It's simple. When supply shrinks and demand spikes, prices don't just rise, they explode. And right now, XLM is setting up for a supply shock that could trigger a massive breakout. Here's what's happening right now. Institutional accumulation is ramping up. Big players are positioning themselves before the next major move. Circulating supply is tightening. More XLM is getting locked up in wallets, not sold on exchanges. Exchange reserves are drying up. Fewer XLM tokens are available for purchase, creating an inevitable supply squeeze. And when demand surges while supply is dwindling, that's when prices go parabolic. History repeats itself. Will you be ready? This isn't just speculation. It's a pattern we've seen play out again and again. Bitcoin's supply shock in 2020, it triggered a 10x move. Ethereum's supply shock before the last bull run, a multi-thousand% surge. Altcoins with strong fundamentals, they've made millionaires overnight when supply dried up and demand exploded. And XLM is heading in the same direction. But here's the reality. Most people won't act until it's too late. By the time XLM is making headlines and everyone is chasing the pump, the biggest gains will already be gone. Why timing is everything. If you're watching this, you're already ahead of 99% of the market. Because the difference between those who win big in crypto and those who just watch from the sidelines. Positioning before the breakout. So ask yourself, are you going to wait until XLM is already running? Or are you going to make the smart move now? And speaking of smart moves, if you've watched this far, it means you're serious about staying ahead in crypto. So right now, smash that like button, subscribe to Be Crypto Smart, and turn on notifications. Because trust me, what's coming next? You don't want to miss it. Final warning. The window is closing. So, let's sum it up. XLM's price action is showing strength. Institutional adoption is increasing. The supply is tightening. And the market setup? Screaming breakout potential. But here's the truth, nothing in crypto waits forever. By the time most people realize what's happening, XLM could already be moving. So ask yourself, are you getting in before the breakout? Or will you be the one chasing after it? Drop a comment below. Do you think XLM will break out in April? What's your price prediction? Let's hear it. And remember, this is just the beginning. Subscribe to Be Crypto Smart and stay ahead of the biggest crypto plays before the rest of the market catches on. Because next time, we might not be talking about predictions, we might be talking about results. Stay smart, stay ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.